you're walking outside or you walk into a party or you go over to a friend's house or you see a coworker and someone goes like this, puts their hand up to you like what is the automatic thing that most people are going to do when that hand comes up in the air going toward the other person? Not a fist, right? Just an open hand like, hey man, good to see you. High five.
You're going to return it. Yeah.
Exactly. Right? You're giving them the high five. High five is something that no one would ever give any thought to how, like there had to have been a first time for that. There had to be a first time that somebody was just like, I'm going to hold my hand up here and the other person's going to eventually figure out they should slap it. Right? Yep. There's no reason this would happen. Well, in reality, the person credited with creating the high five is none other than former Major League Baseball player and manager Dusty Baker.
What? So we're saying the high five is no more than 50 plus years old. I mean, Dusty's probably in his late 70s, early 80s, I'm guessing at this point.
Yeah.
So
he is. Yeah.
The high five's only about 50 or 60 years old at this point. Because we'll assume maybe he started it when he was in the majors in his mid-20s.
So I've got the news for you. Here's the deal. Dusty Baker, of course, had a long playing career and has been a very successful manager and
Sure.
all of these things in the majors, right? I mean, he's the real deal across the board. Dusty Baker was originally drafted in the 26th round of the 1967 Major League Draft by the Atlanta Braves. Now, It's a little different than today, but as a general rule in any sport, if you're drafted in the 26th round, expectations aren't super high for your career.
No.
Dusty Baker went from being a player for many years to a manager, has had great success. So clearly he really outperformed as a 26th round pick in the 1967 draft. So he had kind of a quiet first 4 years in baseball, but he really came into his own in 1972. In the 1972 season, Dusty Baker hit 76 RBIs in 127 games and had a .321 batting average. That is almost irrelevant. It wasn't until 1977, 5 years later, 5 years after Dusty Baker really was considered a successful player, that he really changed the game. And not just the game of baseball, but the game of life. After hitting his 30th and final home run of the year, Dusty Baker crossed home plate where he was greeted by the outstretched hand of Glenn Burke, who was in the on-deck circle. Dusty Baker slapped Burke's hand, and the rest is history. Although not many people know it, Dusty Baker is largely attributed to popularizing, if not inventing, the high five gesture in modern sports.
And this was what year?
This was in 1977.
46 years ago.
Yes.
46
now,
years
again,
ago.
Don't know for sure that he was the first person to ever do this, but minimally, it was much more popular. And there happens to be photographic evidence of this historic moment in time.
There it is.
There it is.
The first
high five. So for anyone listening on the podcast, go to our YouTube page and bring this video up. Fast forward to the end, and you will be able to see this picture. But it is quite literally Dusty Baker having his hand out and another guy with his hand out, and they're still maybe 5 feet away from each other here. They're kind of coming in because you got to figure the first one's going to be very awkward.
First one's going to be awkward.
They're sizing each other up. They're each coming in for the first high five heard around the world, and you can see the crowd there in the background. Everybody's watching with anticipation. No one knows what's going to happen here. These two hands are hurdling toward each other as professional athletes. It's crazy.
Are they going to slap each other? What is happening? Why would they slap each other?
I thought
they were friends. They're teammates.
So there you have it. There you have it.
That is so funny.
So if Dusty Baker did not invent the high five, he minimally popularized it. And after that, people on the team started doing it. And the next thing you know, it started catching on and more people started doing it in sports. And then fans started doing it. And then now the high five has taken over.
I guess we'll have to break down how they got the name High Five. Because I guess you're high and it's the five.
Yeah, I'm holding my five fingers up high, I guess. I don't know.
High
I'm trying to get Dusty Baker on the show. See if he wants the credit for that or not.
Yeah.
Like, does he take credit for being the creator of the high five?
Yeah, did he name it? Did he like trademark it? I mean, it seems like he probably could have gotten some good money on this deal.
You'd think.
So.
And look, just so that nobody thinks that like this is just some, like bizarre like thing I'm making up or anything, because I am not. I will show you something else to show you how prevalent this is. Dusty Baker manages the Houston Astros. Here's the Houston Astros. Happy National High Five Day. Fun fact, Dusty Baker invented the high five. That's on the Houston Astros Twitter account. So clearly the Astros minimally are making sure that Dusty Baker gets credit for the high five.
Oh my gosh, that is freaking hilarious. And even if he didn't, the fact that like the legend is that he did it,
exactly.
And people are just going to keep building onto it. Oh, I hope he did invent it. Like, I hope nobody can figure out anything else, because 44 years ago, someone put their hand out, and another person reached up and slapped.
I guess I'm going to do it. I guess I'm going to go for it. And what's really funny is Dusty Baker's probably sitting home fuming because he's never been able to profit off of the high five.
Yeah, that's probably
like, I should have called it the Dusty Five or the Baker Five or something. Something that where they would know it was me. Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah. So I thought that was a cool way to end the show there. So, next time you see your friends out or somebody at the job does a good thing and you want to give them the old high five there, give a little thought to Dusty Baker.
Yeah, that's it. Just
you owe him.
In your thoughts.
You owe him a lot. And all the joy that you've gotten from high fiving people over the years, that can be attributed directly to Dusty Baker.
That's it. And all the frustration us white folks got when trying to do the high five and just cannot get it down.
Took a long time. Lost a lot of good men out there trying to get that high five down. A lot of broken noses, a lot of concussions.
We are not a coordinated bunch.
No, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mets pitcher Tom Seaver missed 6 games in the 78th season. He had a busted orbital socket from a missed high five. So that's how it happens, man. You can't risk it.
You can't risk it.
It should have been outlawed, honestly.
That's really, for sure.